bro, I talk to my lawyer every day, all day.
Look, I'll be damned, Mizkif has remembered that he's in an active lawsuit. But not enough to keep his mouth shut on stream or post more weird social media videos wheeling out his girlfriend and trying to get in on the jokes that people are making about him and his said accusation. Ladies and gentlemen, slot meal viewers, you know the drill by now. Let's dive into more Mizkif updates and see where we stand. Let's start this video with a bang by taking a look at his most recent social media post.
Hey guys, I'm Juice. And I want to say...
Like, don't you get it? Mizkif is getting involved in all the jokes people are making about him and his girlfriend and stuff, and, you know, about the situation. Isn't it really funny? Isn't Mizkif such a great boyfriend? When will people learn that when you're in a very serious situation, you're being accused of some pretty damn serious things, and people are making up random stuff about you, insulting you, then getting involved in on those said jokes where people are insulting you isn't a good look. It doesn't work. It makes you look pathetic and like you're trying to cling on to any sort of relevance and, you know, act a bit relatable.
I love Mizkif. He is fun. We have fun. He smells good. He's rich, but he did not pay me. I want to be here. Stay cool.
Especially when it is one to do with your girlfriend, when your accusations revolve around relationships and you are actively getting involved in a conversation and a joke that is based off the fact that you're clearly paying your girlfriend because you're wheeling her out here to make yourself look better in these said accusations about you being a bad partner. Getting involved in that said joke really doesn't work. It's genuinely mind-boggling why he's trying to go for this, outside of being a bit more relevant, which we will 100% get to later because this is something he directly mentioned when talking about doing these Instagram reels on his story when he was confronted about it. There really isn't a reason for him to be doing this. He would have much better luck trying to just move on from the situation outside of the lawsuit by just posting regular content. But talking about Mizkif's stream, let's see what he said on said stream.
Don't care, just want streams. I know, bro. I know. I know.
Going to be a bit of a presence with this video where Mizkif is very clearly sympathy baiting over the fact he can't just make regular content during this time, when ultimately you can. People are still going to come in your chat, ask the exact same questions, but the fact you're engaging with it is encouraging that behaviour, and the only reason you would particularly want to do that is for relevance, because you know it gets clipped up and it gets posted around, which is exactly what I think he's personally doing, as he basically admits it towards the end of this stream. What you've got to say is just fucking stupid. That old saying, all publicity is good publicity, is just flat out wrong. Publicity associated with your very, very serious accusations probably isn't that great regardless of the relevancy it brings you. Because definitely whilst in the short run his views are probably up and people are talking about him more than ever, ultimately when this situation fizzles out and the lawsuit is over, people would have distanced away from Mizkif.
How's the reels going? Dude, they're gonna get funnier, I promise you. The last one to me was like kind of like the one that like didn't really hit the most. I was like, period, good one. It's like kind of the same as the other one. But like this next few are gonna be are funny. I promise you. You're gonna like them. As a streamer viewer, you're gonna like it. They're stupid. I've been enjoying it though. It's nice to have a little creative outlet.
And he's trying to garner sympathy by saying, look, I can't really do anything at the moment because of the situation I'm currently in while streaming. You could literally be streaming anything. You don't have to sit there talking to your chat and talking basically about the accusations and how shit your life is. Nobody's forcing you to do this. I'm gonna be fucking shocked if you said that your lawyer was telling you that this would be a great look. It would be a better look if you were just getting on with your life and you were appearing more happy, upbeat. That'd probably make you look better.
Offline numbers, bro, just stream already. You probably won't even lose that many viewers. Bro, you realize I'm more popular now than ever before? Everything I say gets clipped in and put everywhere, bro. I'm famous at this point. You realize that, right? My Instagram reels are doing better now than ever before. Fun fact.
Again, just like in a lot of the claims made about Mizkif, it all comes down to his own ego and viewers and numbers or whatever, regardless of the situation. He's been accused of some very serious things, and for the most part, what he is focusing on, publicly at least, is how many views and how popular he is getting, and he doesn't really care why that's for. Of course, I'm not totally naive. There is a bit of sarcasm sprinkled in there when he's discussing things like this and this situation at hand, but ultimately, the number aspect of this situation is still something he's clearly focusing on. It's something that he speaks about in this stream several times and in the other ones as well.
My Instagram's like, dude, what's going on with you? But you are killing it. And I'm like, yeah, I am. The numbers of those are going up, but the followers are going down. And I'm like, what? You don't like the period joke? Like, I thought it was funny. If it matters, but I'm not recommending all of those shitty drama channels on YouTube that talk about you. Thank you. I don't even know what they've possibly said about me, but I'm sure it's all fucking accurate.
Again, it's more of this whole cope about YouTube drama channels and commentary channels that are covering what Mizkif is doing. I find it funny because he's saying about, the accuracy of the coverage, but the large majority of the coverage at the moment about Mizkif all comes from stuff that he said on these streams, which is funny because basically he's calling what he's saying inaccurate. I'm sorry, Mizkif, but we all know you're lying. On your own YouTube account, there were videos that had been watched about your own drama. We know you blamed it on somebody else, but ultimately I don't think anybody's going to buy that. And on other social media comments, you are actively engaging with said comments that were parroting what people were saying in these videos. From how you've gone about all of this on streams and the things you publicly said, everybody knows that you know what people are saying online and in these videos. That's just a blatant lie and not something that you should even be responding to in the first place, because it just makes you look even worse.
Right. Like, I have no idea what they've said about me. No idea. And I can't care because I'm sure it's like, he poked someone's eye 2021, and it's like, they got a boo-boo. 12-minute video. So I have no idea.
Again, it's this whole thing about people looking back at old clips of Mizkif and now talking about them. I'm sorry, but when you're in a situation like this where you've got serious accusations against you made by another fellow streamer who is basically saying that, this behavior is present in our relationship, and there's lots of clips of YouTube publicly out there, people are going to take a look back at said clips and see if any of that pattern of behavior that emiru was describing is in said clips. That is just a normal thing. And then people are going to take a look at your other relationships that have been public. Again, these things are going to happen when you've been accused of very serious things publicly. Of course, some of the clips that people are pulling up of Mizkif that are old are just genuinely trying to score brownie points against him and mean absolutely nothing. They're just trying to get another point at Mizkif whilst he's down, and ultimately that stuff should be dismissed. But there are also some great old clips that are being resurfaced that do show the pattern of behavior that emiru was accusing Mizkif of that I think are pretty important to take a look at. Mizkif just doesn't want people to take a look at that because it would confirm what emiru is saying about him.
They're finding all these clips from years of me being, trying to use it to attack me from 6-7 years ago, right? You were there, so you're just as bad. It's your fault. You didn't stop me.
The last stream, he tried to make a similar point that people have been hanging on to these clips for ages, and why did they not criticize him then, and they've only just waited to criticize him now. But ultimately, these clips, people have a brand new lens on because of the new accusations that have been made against you. People are looking at them totally differently, and let's be realistic, some of the clips that have been circulating, people did call you out at the time for. Just now, with these accusations and with these claims that have been made against Mizkif, you're going to be taking a look at older clips with a brand new lens, with a brand new sight, because the pattern of behavior just becomes way more apparent. To be realistic, Mizkif is talking about these clips like they are a golden bullet to his reputation, like people are holding these up in very high regard. People aren't doing that, people are just taking a look at this because it confirms certain accusations emiru made about your pattern of behavior and how you acted towards her. None of it is incredibly damning stuff, it just goes to prove some of the stuff that emiru was saying about you.
Like, I know right now I'm entertaining half these people in my chat, who half these people were probably on live stream shitting on me relentlessly and saying I'm a horrible person and that I deserve to be deplatformed. And here I am right now still trying to make them laugh. You want to know why? Because I'm mentally fucking... I'm just a genuinely dude. And I don't learn my lesson. How are you, chat? When are you coming out of hiding? Boo. See, you'll never go broke. You have a cameraman job lined up. If my mother could just fucking see me now.
Again, it's this whole poor me narrative, this whole sympathy baiting thing, just shrouded in jokes and sarcasm, when ultimately it just doesn't work. Nobody feels bad for this guy, nobody feels like, he's being treated too harshly. Ultimately, he's made his bed, he has to lie in it. Let me be clear what I'm saying by this. It was his response that made the situation 10 times worse. It was always going to be a big situation, and we're accusing Mizkif of something like this, but his own response made it bad. Him responding basically immediately was a bad call. He basically basically admitted to everything that emiru had accused him of, bar a few differences and different claims that he then threw back at emiru. Let's be clear about that. But he has now retroactively tried to go back and say that, look, the situation wasn't as bad as emiru was making out, when ultimately he admitted to a large majority of the stuff that she claimed. The response wasn't well formulated, he put his foot in it entirely, and he got exposed for lying several times, and especially now with the whole lawsuit and how he's trying to act in the situation. He's not going to get any sympathy, he made the situation worse for himself.
Because they have to follow the narrative they hate Mizkif. It's a really good narrative. Like, I'm honestly thinking, low-key chat, I'm a pretty good villain. Instead of spamming W, put V's. Look, I'm actually low-key a fucking good villain.
Of course, there's a bit of a herd mentality around when someone gets called out or allegations are thrown their way. We've seen it where people blindly believe things without even checking or looking into the situation themselves. But ultimately, there is a reason that 95% of the internet is going after you and has no sympathy for you. That's because of the things that you've actively admitted to, your own response, how you've dealt with the situation, and emiru's accusations against you, and how good they actually hold up. And leaning into the whole villain thing when you've been accused of some very serious things just doesn't work.
Do you not have a paralegal in chat? Bro, I talk to my lawyer every day, all day. Him and I just do phone calls all day, every day. He also sees everything I post before I post it, by the way. And he's like, well, my team is like, bro, you are the GOAT, Miz. I'm like, I know. He's like, you're the fucking GOAT, bro. I'm like, all right, yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. By the way, that $20,000 you asked for, I sent it in immediately. He's like, you're the GOAT, Miz. Post whatever. And I'm like, all right, see you later, man.
Ultimately, his legal team definitely take a look at those social media posts, tell him if that's something he should be posting or not, but they can't prevent him from saying certain things on stream, as was made apparent from the stream the other day. And ultimately, they can advise him not to say certain things, but it's Mizkif, and ultimately that other stream has negatively impacted him massively. Let's not sit here and act like his talk about the accusations on the last stream and the things that he said and claimed and said about his community and things they should be doing isn't going to negatively impact him and won't affect the lawsuit whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, just lot of your viewers, I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. What's your thoughts on all of this? Please feel free to leave your comment down below. Of course, whilst you're down there, you might also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future Mizkif updates and any content that I'll be posting on the channel. But I've been your host Samuel, you've been watching Slot Mule, and I will catch you in the next YouTube video. Goodbye.